The next question goes to Dr. Yasmin. How are the mental health issues of children being addressed by your agency?
As I discussed earlier, that we do have multiple screening tools, and knowing that these children are coming from war-torn areas, I do screen them myself for PTSD or anything they have witnessed. So they are identified. We do have mental health services along with the medical facilities at these clinics where I work. So we have mental health as well as medical. So medical is provided by Parkland Health and Hospital Systems, and mental health is provided by DISD. So we work together, so I identify them and I send them right over, and they get counseling and psychiatric treatments.
The next question is from Mr. Wolston. I have several friends from Turkey who applied for asylum here but couldn't bring their families yet, and their families are in risk of severe persecution and torture. Is there any way to expedite this process?
No. I mean, no. It's like the people are waiting. You heard people talk about being in refugee camps for years. So people are stuck in harm's way, and with our State Department, who are slowing down the processing of refugee admissions. All of that's going to be slow. I mean, so there are no quick fixes to the legal issues for asylum seekers and refugees. We've got to put pressure on our government to change its policies. I'm sympathetic to that. I'm just trying to be honest with you. There's not. The current state of things is bad.
Okay, this is for all of you. Are there any mentor programs for teenagers or young adults? How can we get younger adults to help and to become more involved? Say, like my students at SMU, how could we hook them up with all of you?
Actually, I tried some after-school programs through the Masjid al-Rahman, which is one of our mosques in Carrollton. They had funding for the refugees. So we tried to hire some people to work after school at the school premises, trying to educate or giving extra services to the children. We can, we didn't know about this building. This is awesome. And if we could use this facility, if the kids could come after school to help for help, we can help fund the teachers. We can help with that. Thank you.
So just to clarify, how can teenagers get involved? Is that the question?
The question is, yes, we're having young adults, I think, who are not refugees, maybe get involved with young adult refugees.
Okay, so the mentoring program is a great avenue to do so. All three agencies, IRC, RST, and Catholic Charities, offer mentoring programs. And so basically your whole family, young adults included, can sign up to mentor whatever demographic you want to choose to mentor. So young adults can definitely be part of that program, and then they can in turn mentor young adults on cultural aspects, things like that. So the mentoring program would be the biggest way to do that. Oh, and then, sorry, young adults can also intern. Interning is a great thing, especially if you need credit for school, things like that.
This is for Dr. Notes. Many refugees I know have low-wage jobs while in their countries they were accomplished professionals or were on a professional path in university. Is there a way for them to re-enter the professional workforce here, and what would that be?
Yes, there are ways. A great organization that you can utilize is called Upwardly Global. You can access them online, and Upwardly Global works with people who came here as professionals and helps them to re-enter the professional field. They should be willing to relocate. Often they can, place an engineer with a company somewhere else in the US. But there are also ways to move up back into that by starting at a lower wage job within that same field. So a lot of medical professionals may work in medical transcription or something a physician assistant may work as a nursing assistant while they're taking the classes to recertify on the way up. So if we can get them into a survival job that is in the same field where they came from, they can move up quickly, it's familiar to them, they know some of the word and vocabulary, while they're also taking their re-credentialing to work their way up. There's not an easy path, it takes time, and it's very difficult for someone who has a PhD to think about starting over again, as a nursing assistant or something like that. But they will do it, they're persistent people and want to get back into those fields. They can use the encouragement and good survival wage jobs in their field from those of us that have connections in there.
We have a charity clinic in Richardson. It's the Islamic Association from Texas. The clinic has been there since 1999. We have been doing a mentorship for the physicians, for medical graduates. They come in and they are exposed to the American system where they are trained for electronic medical records. They are learning how to take histories and so forth. And we do give them a letter that they worked at the clinic for 3 months, and they have applied while they're there. They are they're taking their exams, and they have successfully completed their credentialing. And I think there were about 32 physicians that went through our clinic and are practicing physicians now.
I am sad to say this is our last question. Panel and audience, do you think we can collaborate to establish a refugee student scholarship fund for outstanding students in need? And apparently you're just supposed to say yes.
Let me hear it.
Yes!
A quick note on that, refugee students are qualified for FAFSA, and to get them into a community college, even one that has maybe ESL along with it, is doable and fundable in the current system. So it's not that they don't have an option. We need to let them know what those options are, but their educations can be paid for. Some of the more technical programs perhaps can't. So that would be ways that communities can help, but they are eligible for financial aid.
Well, thank you all so much, and I'm going to hand it back to Lou.
So obviously you can tell that that question was a plant. And I apologize for trying to get it submitted while our panel was speaking, because I forgot that I actually needed to get that code in there and type the question. But I will get to that in a moment. That actually is an example of a very specific project that we could do in the community. Now, what I plan to do is give a quick overview of the volunteer guide to refugee service agencies in Dallas-Fort Worth, and also mention that there is a QR code. Okay. There's a QR code on the back of my business cards, thanks to Tiffany teaching me how to use that tool. So if you can download a scanner and just scan the code, it will go directly to that document. Although it's not set up yet for cell phones, it works better on a larger screen. But this is one of the projects of the Committee on Refugees of the United Nations Association. And I should say, too, that the question that was asked at the very beginning, how can I help? I could make it really easy on myself by saying what they said. So they really answered some of it. So I'm just going to try to cut as much as I can for brevity and to just give you what you need. Unfortunately, we don't have the feed from both. We were going to try to just come around and spend a little time on both sides of the room, but I will come over here now. And as Tiffany is scrolling, so you have a cover page. It's basically a tool that allows you to find out how to volunteer, what is needed by the agencies who need you as volunteers, and then how to contact them. And this is a project of the UN Association in Dallas, the Dallas chapter. We have some of our other people here. Bill Matthews is over there, Amas, Michael. So you can visit them at the table and get more information, along with visiting all of the other exhibitors after the program. Something else I should say about the UN Association, besides it's been here for almost as long as the UN. It was started in the 50s, and George Sarity Hughes was our first president. And you might have heard of things like Model UN and programs that are part of the association. Well, on the local level, anybody can create a project that's not one of the standard parts of the association. And so that's what the Committee on Refugees is, was simply a personal project. You just decide you want to do it, and you do it. So in 1998, we created that when the Kosovo refugees were coming in, and then it was Sudan, the Lost Boys, and then each wave, depending on what's happening in the country. But the task remains the same, regardless of who's coming and where they are coming from. As you heard, they have only a very short window to get self-sufficient, right? To get ESL, get job training, get a job, pay for their apartments. And asylum seekers have the additional challenge of needing to have legal representation as quickly as possible. So we created this for the agencies who are resettling and providing other services. Okay. Now, we'll be 20 years old next year. So 2018, I think we're going to have a 20th anniversary celebration of this project, and maybe we can get that scholarship fund launched. So about that, when I asked if we might collaborate on establishing a refugee student scholarship fund, please know that the infrastructure already exists. And UNA USA has a new campaign called Adopt a Future to assist refugee students, both internationally and locally, to prevent disruption of their education. And at the local level, we have back-to-school drives, fundraising dinners and events, and ways to support refugee students here in our own community. And by the way, mentoring, that's very easy to do. If you are, or if you know of, students at both the high school or university level who would like to mentor refugees, either through the agencies or just as classmates and friends. What they're doing now is university students are coaching high school and middle school students to help with college readiness. And even the younger students, so high school can coach middle school. It's really just friendships. Refugees and students who are here in the community just meet each other, and this can happen without going through the agencies. But generally, if you want to volunteer for the agencies, they each have their own training program. So whichever one you find speaks to you and you would like to sign up as a volunteer, they will get you into their system, give you the training that you need. And this tool simply makes it a little easier for volunteers to find it. So here are a few volunteer projects. This one is new because of the need for advocacy. So ever since the airport, and by the way, my Facebook profile is a picture of Imam Omar Suleiman and I at 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday after we had all spent Saturday at the airport. And yes, it's been going on ever since. So advocacy, calling in legislators, doing what you can for refugees who are already here because the resettlement numbers have been slashed in half. So you might not get a family to mentor. What most people want to do that, to be able to be a mentor and have a one-on-one relationship. You may or may not get to do that, but all of these things are still needed. So volunteer activities, helping with apartments, transportation, helping with English and cultural orientation, you can do all those things. Donating useful items, so furniture, household appliances, supplies, books, toys, pretty much anything you can think of to start all over again, you can donate. We encourage university students when they're done with their dorm rooms, if they don't need to sell their stuff, donate it. Okay? okay? And so, before we go on to the directory, okay? Yes.
Ask you a question. You're saying that we can access this by using a QR code on the back of your business card?
Yes, and in fact, I've got a, you want to pass it around?
Sure.
All right, there's some SMU cards in there and congregation, but there'll be not two, but I'll have more of those that will be at the table. So if you scan the QR code, you'll get that, but the formatting will be funny. Okay. All right. So these are some volunteer activities. Before we go on to the directory, I just want to tell you a little bit about what some people have done recently in the community. These are examples. You can steal all you want. So recently, a music group, Sangeet Millennium, organized a concert for peace and donated the ticket proceeds to the Committee on Refugees, actually through the UNA Dallas chapter, which is a 501c3. So you get your tax receipt and a wonderful thank you note, and your money is going to go toward a local refugee cause through the Committee on Refugees, or the local component of Adopt a Future, or the international component. So you have a lot of choices. At the same time, her friend, a pastor at the Unity on Greenville Church, decided to spend a month tithing in support of refugees. And they donated a percentage. I don't know exactly what the percentage was, but it was a nice sum of money.